Hi everybody, as Mario said, my name is Brittany William. I am a graduate student in the Family and Consumer Sciences program.
And my name is Katie Shaw, and I am a professor in the School of Family and Consumer Sciences, and I teach apparel and textile design and merchandising. And I'm an EIU grad.
Oh yeah, me too. Undergrad and grad, almost, in May.
Yep, almost there. All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to talk with you a little bit today. Probably a lot of you are perhaps getting ready to graduate, or you're in graduate school and you're thinking about developing a professional wardrobe. And I remember going through this period in my life, and it's a little bit scary because it's expensive, right? And so you have to think about how you're going to dress for success. And sometimes, you know, we don't really realize, but people do often judge a book by its cover, and I'm not saying that just to be saying it, but we actually have research to prove it, that a lot of our message that we send to people is visual. So it's based on how you look, right? If I came here today and I was telling you all about how you should dress professionally and how you could do it inexpensively, and I was sitting here in my workout clothes from this morning, you might question as to whether or not I'm really an expert on what I'm talking about, because I couldn't even dress professionally today, right? So that's something to consider, all right?
So when we talk about professional wear and what professional kind of relates to, we want to stay with warm and conservative colors. In any office setting or in any setting at all where you want to be perceived as professional, it's good to stay with very neutral colors, blues, grays, browns, anything that's not too loud. Like for example, my shirt today, it's a very like pastel-y color. Dr. Shaw has on black with a little bit of pink in it, so it like conveys our personalities but still is very calm and cool and collected, like I like to say. But again, and with conveys seriousness, but your personality still shows through. So like with me, I like to add on like accessories. So I like to usually wear like maybe like a little bit bigger earrings than usual, but still have that professional feel with the rest of my dress, just so that my personality gets through to the interviewer.
And it really, you also need to consider the type of job that you're interviewing for.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my students that are going into the fashion field can get away with being a little more trendy when they go for an interview. If you're going into more of a hard business field, like you're going to work at a bank, you need to be a little more conservative in your suit and dress when you go for an interview. Okay. So CNN conducted a survey asking employers how they felt about dress. So 41% of employers promote people who dress better, typically. 49% of employers have forbidden mini skirts. Some of them have also forbidden maxi skirts, which are the extremely long ones. No jeans, banned sleeveless shirts, and banned flip-flops. So did anybody go to a school, elementary, high school, where you had a dress code? Okay, so what kind of, were any of these part of your dress code at all?
We had a uniform, so it was just a black skirt. Guys and girls' shirts were the same. They were white button down.
Okay.
And we all had the same shoes.
Okay.
So that was it. Socks
You even had the
black or
same
white.
shoes? Wow.
Mm.
Okay. Who else said they wore or had a dress code?
No jeans,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and then nothing that looked like it was a cut-off skirt or pants or jeans or anything that looked like it'd been frayed or something.
Mm-hmm.
So here's an interesting fact. My mom was a graduate of Eastern Illinois University, and when she went to school here, girls were not allowed to wear pants to class. So she had to wear a skirt or dress every day. So that's kind of interesting. So times have changed, right? Now we go in our pajamas someday to class. Not me, but the students. I would like to go. I'm often jealous of the students that are in their pajamas. So it's kind of interesting how times change and dynamics change. You know, jeans are becoming much more permissible by a lot of employers, or it's kind of a treat, like Blue Jean Friday or something like that. even when I taught here at Eastern, 10 years ago when I was first starting my career, I would have never have thought of wearing blue jeans to teach in, and now it's much more accepted. So that's kind of interesting too.
So next, let's talk about grooming. It's really important in any setting that you're in to be well groomed and to have a very polished sort of look to you. Well-groomed hair, making sure that you don't, it's not frayed or anything like that. Just making sure that you have a very lasting impression on your employer or on the interviewer. Also, minimal jewelry is also good, but again, this also depends on the setting that you're in. I know I could probably get away, like in a more fashionable setting, I can wear a little bit more jewelry, but like, dietetics or anything like that, you want to keep it very minimal, maybe like just studs or like a small cartilage earring like I have, something very minimal. Also, no visible body piercings beyond conservative like ear piercings. I'm breaking that rule with my nose today, but again, it just depends on the setting that you're in. And then don't have any gum or food in your mouth when you're with an interviewer. That comes off very rude, and that you don't really care about the position that you're interviewing for, or even the job setting too. I mean, some places might, as when I worked in retail, we weren't allowed to chew gum on the floor. So just kind of keep in mind, like, keep your mouth free of stuff. Your smile is what's going to convey the interviewer what you need to do. And then also have your nails and your fingernails cleaned and groomed. I did mine for you guys today. I did it yesterday, but keep it very minimal color. Again, I can get away with this color because I'm more into fashion, but like a nice like red or like a nude color, anything sort of those lines, keeping that. And then minimal cologne or perfume, just so then you don't kind of overpower with your scent in an interview or in a professional setting.
So what not to wear? Too much makeup, hairstyle and color matter. There was an old thought process that we should, as women, not have long hair. It's not as professional, and that's kind of gone away. I'm thankful for that, actually. Or if you did have long hair, you should wear it up somehow and back away from your face. But again, that's changed quite a bit over time. So Rainbow Bright, and I spelled bright that way for a reason because I'm thinking of the Rainbow Bright dolls, which is kind of maybe before some of your time, but just not different colored hair and things like that. And highlights should look natural as well.
I think we both can talk about this one.
Yep.
So pretty much what to wear. Again, very conservative outfits. I think the top is, actually both of these are for men.
Yep. We have another one.
Okay. But
the other thing that this kind of shows is 9 different pieces of clothing and how you can make several different outfits for the week, which is another thing that you may struggle with, especially when you're first starting your career. And people often think this, I get like, you must have so many clothes. And I do have a lot of clothes, but not as many as I think people often think, because I mix. I don't have like just, I'll wear this suit jacket with this skirt or this pair of pants and mix things up. So, you could have one really nice suit that's kind of an investment piece, which we'll talk about later, and then use different parts of it and mix things up a little bit and add your thrift clothes and all sorts of different things.
It's also good to have outfits that you can dress up or dress down, and that's a good thing with like sustainability, so then you don't have to buy as many clothes. So like a blazer, for example, like you can easily put a pair of jeans with that, a pair of flats, and then wear it out with your friends, but then also put on a pair of slacks and a button up to wear to work. So just think kind of like that.
So here's some different, again, a few different pieces, and you can dress them up or down, as Brittany was saying, and try out different things with them. So the other thing that we need to think about is classic items that we can have forever. So Brittany and I were just sitting out there, and I said, I think I've had these shoes for 10 years. A lot of my shoes, I spend a little more money on them, but I wear them for a really long time. Shoes are something that typically we don't outgrow. Sometimes my clothes they shrink. I don't know about you guys, but my shoes always fit, right? So I can wear them for a long period of time. I have most of my shoes I've had 10 years or more. And then we have the little black dress, right? And fashion is always changing, and things are always a little bit different, but there are certain key pieces in your wardrobe that will last forever. And one of those is the little black dress, right? So there's different variations of it, and again, adding different pieces to it to either dress things up, dress them down, make them a little more trendy with jewelry, which is a little less expensive than the garment itself.
Sure.
Anything to add?
I think with the style and the shape, you have to find a shape that works for you, because everyone has a different body type. So even if you're going out and you see like this really trendy like A-line dress, but you try it on, it doesn't look good on you, you have to feel confident in what you're wearing. So just make sure that you're finding a shape that works for you and makes you feel confident. That's all I have to add on that.
Good. Okay, we're gonna watch a little video here.
There are certain items of clothing no woman should be without. They're like weapons in an arsenal that she can use to fend off the what-to-wear conundrum. Having a selection of staple garments makes getting dressed to the sevens effortless, even on those cold, rainy days when simply getting out of bed takes an inordinate amount of effort. Why are these items staples? Because they never go out of style, and they go with just about anything. You can pair two staples together, or mix a staple item with something trendier to keep your look current. Either way, you'll be dressed to the sevens. There's a reason why the white button front shirt is so ubiquitous. It's inherently professional and easy to dress up or down. Look for button front shirts with darts at the bust or down the front. They'll make you look slim and sophisticated simultaneously. A soft cotton sweater can take you from spring through summer and right into fall. And any neckline can work as a staple. V-necks draw the eye up to your neck and face. A turtleneck sweater can be chic or bohemian, and nothing says classic like a crew neck or a cardigan sweater. This is one of the most versatile style staples, as it looks as good on its own as it does layered. Try pairing a sleeveless button front shirt under a V-neck sweater. On cool days, top it off with a blazer. Whether or not you work in a business casual office, no wardrobe is complete without a pair of classic dress pants. Black is the most popular color, but gray, either charcoal or heather, is another classic option. If you prefer earthier tones, brown, camel, or taupe are also great choices. Getting the right fit and style of dress pants is critical to presenting a put-together appearance. Learn more about dressing for your figure by watching my style video entitled, Your Shape. I'm fascinated by the history of denim. For a full century, it was only worn by industrial workers. Today, it's omnipresent and it's fashion. Jeans can be paired with just about anything. A dark bootleg jean with a wrap top and sandals works well for a casual evening out. And lighter jeans paired with a t-shirt and blazer makes you look chic for a Saturday afternoon of errands. Much more so than a pair of sweatpants. Look for jeans that flatter your figure and that fit comfortably. If going up a size means a full day of breathing easily, so be it. A woman who is at ease in her clothing is much more beautiful than one who is too constrained to draw breath. I find that the word blazer often conjures an image of those loose-fitting jackets with big buttons and even bigger shoulder pads that were so prevalent in the 80s. But the 80s, thankfully, are over, and blazers no longer look as though they fit a linebacker. Today's blazers come in a variety of shapes: cropped, three-quarter sleeve, fitted, boxy, and are much less likely to embarrass you in 10 years' time than anything you might have worn a couple of decades ago. A classic blazer with a button front shirt is consummately professional, and if you pair one with a light sweater, or a tee, or a tank, it takes on a more casual look. Try one. Once the weather hits 60 degrees, the national dress code seems to shift. Suddenly one sees legs aplenty as skirts make their spring debut. The sheer variety of shapes and silhouettes in skirts today means that just about any skirt can be a staple. Just choose the shape that best flatters your figure. Basic colors may give you more flexibility, but a bright pattern or color in a classic shape can also be a staple. Having at least one dress in your wardrobe that's appropriate for daytime is essential. Putting on a dress is a simple way to throw together an outfit that's inherently stylish while requiring a minimum of fuss. The wrap dress is a perfect example of a day dress that works on just about anyone. It cinches the waist and it draws attention up toward the face and neck. It's such a popular style that you'll find wrap dresses from just about every designer and retailer. Best of all, it goes seamlessly from day to night. Just add a pair of spiky high heels, a little extra lipstick, and you're ready for an evening of cocktails, dinner, and dancing. Being dressed to the sevens isn't just about having the right garments. It's also about taking proper care of them. If your clothing is stretched out or has a rough finish, you won't feel confident wearing it. There's more to know about dressing to the sevens, so watch more of my style videos at Dress to the Seven.
Okay, so he talked a little bit about style staples, and we're going to talk with you a little bit about style staples as well. So these are things to start with for your professional wardrobe. Okay, wanna go?
Oh yeah, so just in general, these are gonna be items that you're gonna want to spend a little bit more money on. It might be tempting to go to like H&M because they have like a professional dress section and get a blazer for like $25, but you should really consider spending a little bit extra money to buy a jacket that's actually going to last you over years. And as Dr. Shaw mentioned earlier, she talked about her shoes and how she's had them for 10 years and how she made that investment early on because she wanted them to last. And with staples, you want them to last as long as possible, and things that you don't think that you'll outgrow or will always stay trendy. So some of these items are trench coat, the obvious little black dress, a neutral handbag, preferably leather or some sort of canvas material because that'll last a little bit longer, casual shoes, boots, an everyday heel that you feel comfortable in, statement jewelry and then non-statement jewelry, so like a little bit colorful necklace or like studs would be a little bit more minimalist. The classic white button-up, that's good for everyone to have in their wardrobe. You can easily wear it day or night. And then also, as we mentioned earlier, a blazer, which is like the best thing ever because you can wear it any time of the day.
And I will tell you a trick about white button-ups. So I like to iron, but I can never get things just right. And so if I have a really special event and or for you guys for your interview, you can wash your white shirt and then take it to the dry cleaners and have them press it. And this may sound a little crazy too. It's probably less than $5 for them to do that. But if you have this nice, crisp white shirt at an interview, you will, it sounds crazy, but you'll feel better, and it just goes along with that professionalism. So if you come in and your shirt's all wrinkled, it kind of sends a message that you might be a little disorganized. So take your nice, you can't do it all the time. Clearly, I don't do this every time I wear it, but if I have a really special event, I go and I have the dry cleaners press it. You can have them clean it as well, but that's of course extra money. So I'm trying to do it as inexpensively as you can.
This is just some of the things that Tim mentioned in the video, and then also some things that we've already mentioned. Again, reusing seasonable items. So like he mentioned, like a lightweight knit sweater. You can easily wear that in spring. You can easily wear that in the fall and in the winter. It's just about layering and adding accessories and making yourself feel comfortable in the item. Again, pairing a summer dress with a fall cardigan. There is no shame in that. I feel like a lot of people think like I can only wear this in the summer, I can only wear this in the winter. It's like there's no rules when it comes to fashion and your own personal style. You can wear whatever you want, whenever you want. So again, keeping your basics in check so that they complement your body, the color of your skin, and then also your personality, so then you feel 100% confident in it. And then also reworking your classics and then having a balance between professional and personal style.
So you need to be comfortable, and especially in an interview or the first few weeks on your job, you need to be confident. So I started teaching college classes and I was 24. Maybe I wasn't even that old, 23, 24. So here I am, not much older than the college students, and I struggled with confidence, right? So I had to figure out a way to kind of not look like as much of a college student. So dress was one of the ways that I did that. And, you know, it's really important that you're comfortable, you're confident, you're wearing things that you're going to portray your style, your personality as well. So whatever way that may be, you can do that. A lot of people like the scarves. This is a video, but we're not going to watch it. Lots of different ways to tie a scarf, and that's another way to kind of reinvent your style or try something new.
So sustainable fashion and how can you guys find affordable clothing? This is what this lecture is all about today. So going to thrift stores is a great way, and a lot of the items that we actually have on the table we got from thrift stores or other sources of cheaper alternatives. Most of the time, what my advice to you about going to a thrift store, try to go to more of like a wealthier neighborhood. I know, Dr. Shaw, when you were at Florida State, you were like around a lot of legislators and all things like that. So when she went to Goodwill, she got like Gucci and like really expensive things. Yeah, for like really cheap. So try to go to Goodwills in areas that might be a little bit wealthier because you'll find better quality of clothing. Off-price retailers are also a good one. We mentioned Goodwill and the Salvation Army. You have to be ready to hunt. So if you like that thrill of the hunt, finding a good bargain, then going thrifting is going to be great for you, especially when you're first starting out your wardrobe. You don't have a lot of money, so it's really good to go into a thrift store and just kind of have an open mind and be like, okay, these are the basics that I need to find, and I have a budget of like $30, and let's see if I can find everything today, or something like that. Yard sales are also good, like in your neighborhood. The clearance rack, I love the clearance rack. I am a clearance queen. I love it so much. So also like TJ Maxx is a good one. Marshalls, I think. Yeah, Marshalls. Any place like that you can get a little bit cheaper basics. Beg or borrow, that's funny. You can also go to a friend or a family member if they have a blazer or even a pair of pants that you really like I just need to wear this for one day, and you can do it that way because that's free, so that's easy. Then also I added on here mobile resale apps. So this is a little bit of the research that Dr. Shaw and I have been doing, and we presented on this a couple weeks ago with mobile resale apps. So have any of you heard of Vinted, Macari, or ThreadUp before? I have a nod in the back. Have you ever used it? No? Okay. So with these
So
apps,
exciting when you guys haven't heard of
I
them.
know, because then we get to tell you about it. Do you want to talk about ThreadUp and then I'll talk
Sure.
about Vinted and stuff?
Sure. So I'm in a wedding in a couple of weeks, and you guys know how expensive it is to be in weddings, and my husband, my daughter, and I are all three in it, so it's even more expensive. So I've been wanting to do ThreadUp, and I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity. I need silver dress shoes. And so I got online and found on ThreadUp my Via Spiga. These are $225 shoes. On ThreadUp, they were $42, and then I got 40% off because it was my first purchase. So I'll pass them around. I mean, they are this is what they came like. They're slightly worn, but I'm pretty excited about them. So I'll pass them around so you can look at them. So ThreadUp has an app you can go on. They sell all sorts of different things. The other thing that I ordered was a clean out bag, and I haven't done it yet because I knew we were doing this and I wanted to share it with you guys. So again, if you do this for the first time, they will give you a clean out bag for free. So find a coupon code online or ask me and I can give you pointers on how to do this. So they send you this clean out bag. So now I'm going to go into my closet and fill the bag with, it says, what we buy, please send us items that are in mint condition, name brand, less than 5 years old. And then they have a list of a few of the different brands that they like J. Crew, Kate Spade, Gymboree, Gap, Loft, things like that. But they'll take pretty much, they'll take other things too. So I put them all in this bag. It came with the postage already paid for. Sometimes they will charge you $12 for the bag, and that's because it cost for them to get it, right? So I send it to them. They put it up. They sell it all for me, and then I just get money for it. So I don't have to do anything but send them this bag of clothes, which to me is the most appealing because the resource that I lack the most is time. And so I don't have to go online and put all sorts of things up and track who's buying it and all of that good stuff. They just deposit the money into my account. Then I can have the items returned to me if they don't sell for $12.99, or they can be donated. So it's kind of up to me which I choose. So this is my first experience with ThreadUp, and I was very pleased with the shoes. I figured it was worth $30 to try and see what I thought. So you want to tell them about Macari and Vinted?
Yes. So on the App Store, there are apps called Vinted, and it's literally Vinted. I hope I spelled that right. I was like, wait, what? Right. And then Macari. And those two apps are a little bit different from ThreadUp. It's actually a personal selling app. So what I do is I usually go in my closet, I'll do like some spring cleaning, and I'll go through whatever I haven't worn in the last couple months, and I'll actually sell it on the app. So what I do is I take pictures of the clothing, good lighting, make it as appealing as possible. Once I put it up, I have to write a description, I have to put in the brand of the item, and then the price that I want to sell it at. So most of the time, these apps usually take a small percentage of what you sell the item for. So for example, on Macari right now, I have up a couple of my boyfriend's Ralph Lauren shirts, and I have them up for about $15. And what people can do is they can comment and be like, can you lower the price? Can we come to a consensus? Like, can we do something different? And I might sell that for $12. So when I sell that, what I have to do is I have to package the item, make sure it's nice, cleaned, pressed, whatever. So then when it gets to the customer, they are happy with it, it's clean, everything like that. So on Macari, once the person, and on Vinted, once the customer gets the item, they have to rate you as a seller. And once they rate you as a seller, it's usually between like 5 stars, so like between 5 stars, and then how the item fits, how it was described, and how the price was with the item. And then once they do that, after they rate you, that's when you get your money. So when you get your money, usually Vinted takes about 9% of what you sold it for, and then on Macari they usually take about like $4 of what you sold it for, no matter what the price, which is pretty good. So if you sell something for $30, you'll get 26, so something like that. I like using that one personally just because I am a retailer by nature, and I like kind of that whole like posting and making it look pretty and kind of trying to sell the item to a customer. So for me, I have a little bit more time than Dr. Shaw, so that's kind of something that I do on the weekends. A lot of people have actually made these apps their business, and they do this like as their side hustle. That's what I see on Pinterest a lot, how to have a side hustle. So if you want to make a couple extra dollars, this is a good way, but you can also buy off the apps too. So for example, like I got this is a Calvin Klein, just a regular Calvin Klein blouse that I got, and I got it for $5. So, and that's a pretty good deal. And I had to pay for shipping, so I think it came out to be like $10 for this shirt that's originally retailed. I think I looked it up, it was $35. So just kind of things like that. You can get a lot of good name brands like Dr. Shaw's shoes, and yeah, things like that.
So I'm a big Goodwill shopper. I started really shopping at Goodwill a lot, when I was getting my PhD at Florida State. It was kind of a hobby that my husband and I did together. He's a shopper. That's when I fell in love with him, actually. He liked to shop, so what more could I ask for? But I don't think people always know that you can shop online for Goodwill, so it keeps flipping back. But if you go to shopgoodwill.com, you can also shop online for Goodwill. So that's kind of interesting. I was excited. I've gotten a lot of good things over at the Goodwill in Mattoon. I don't find as much here in Charleston. I haven't been for probably almost a year to the Charleston store, but so I found this Talbot's jacket at the Goodwill in Mattoon. I think I paid about $4 or $5 for it. Another Talbot's jacket, again, $4 or $5 for it. I think I got this one in Florida, but it's a Pendleton, which is an expensive wool company. It's vintage, it's from the 70s. That's the other thing I like about thrifting is I like vintage clothes. So that's another example. And again, $4 or $5 for each of them. Hi, my name is Katie Shaw, and I'm addicted to blazers. I have like half of my closet is blazers, but again, it's something where I can change them. Now there is the expense. I take everything that I buy to the dry cleaners and have it cleaned professionally, unless it's something I can clean at home. So that's another $4 or $5 typically. But we also want to talk to you a little bit about upcycling clothes, and this is a big thing in design right now, sustainability, taking something old, making something new with it. So this is just one example, an old worn t-shirt, and then this person has made a scarf out of it. So find garments or other items that you no longer wear, make something you would like to wear with it.
So have any of you been to a clothing swap before, or have heard of a clothing swap? So pretty much, it's actually kind of fun, and you should do it with your friends. It's a party that you get together with your friends, and they bring all the clothes that they don't want. You put it out, like you can make like a table or like a little boutique in your house, even if you want, of like hangers and stuff like that. And your friends can go shopping for the clothes that you don't want, and you get to see what they have. So like, for example, if one of your friends has this dress that you really like, and they're like, well, I don't really like it, it doesn't really fit anymore, and you're like, wait, that's my size. Do you want to have a clothing swap? And then they bring that, and then you can snag it for like a couple dollars or whatever they want to sell it for, and you can do that. So that's a really good way for sustainability, again with thrifting, but instead you're doing it with your friends, and you can make it fun, and you can have a good time. And these are just some rules. I'm not going to go through all of it of how a typical clothing swap can go, but it's just, you know, at the end of the day, whatever doesn't sell, you can donate it. You can try and upcycle it. You can always sell them on the apps that we were talking about, or on the eBay or anything like that. But it's just a good way to A, have a party and have fun, and then B, get new clothes out of it.
Yeah, this is especially good for children.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lot of my daughter's clothes, we have like someone that the lady will bring a box of clothes, and she's priced them all, and then I just go through and pick out what I want and pay for them, and then I have her wardrobe. So a lot of my daughter's clothes I get at yard sales or hand-me-downs, because there's so much textile waste, and that's not something we've really discussed a whole lot yet. But I mean, we have this new trend of fast fashion where we wear something a few times, we throw it away, right? Or we donate it, and we think by donating it we're doing this really great thing, but in actuality we have learned in the last few years that a lot of the clothes that we donate, most of them do not even stay in the US. They go overseas to third world countries. And they have impacted the economy there quite a bit. So countries, you know, there's a couple of countries in Africa that had a booming textile industry, and because they're receiving all of these donated clothes, people are buying those instead of buying the textiles that are made in Africa. So it's really impacting the economy in a way that you probably aren't even aware of in other countries. So I don't know about you guys, but when I take things and donate them, I feel like I'm doing a good thing, and you are. But you also need to be aware that some companies, more so than others, do things that you may not be aware of. They're actually selling that by the pound and sending it overseas. Mm-hmm. So.
And that's a good idea with staples, like we mentioned earlier, making sure that they last a long time, so then you're not constantly having to go shopping and get fast fashion items like H&M, Forever 21, anything that you can only wear a couple times and then it starts to pill, or like just it gets discolored when you wash it, things like that. So having that wardrobe that's going to last you a long time, if that's anything you take away from this presentation, take that away.
Yeah. Okay. You want to talk about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually had this app. I haven't used it yet, but it's a style book app. Pretty much you take pictures of your clothes, everything that you have in your closet, and then you get to play on the app and make an outfit with it and plan out your outfits by the week, or by the month even. So if you want to wear, like if you're going out on a date or something like that, you can map out your outfit and then be like, okay, well, I need to wear this blazer on Monday, but then I'm going to wear that skirt on Thursday or something like that. It's actually a lot of fun. I really wanted to try it. I just don't have the time. I was like, I'm too lazy to do it. But if you are someone who I just don't know what to wear or when to wear it, this is a really good app for you, especially for work too. So then you don't get bored. Because I think a lot of people with fashion, they get kind of bored and they're like, well, there's all these new trends going on. It's like, no. You can make your staples work. Just you have to wait a little bit and like work with it and things like that.
It's like menu planning for your clothes.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's great.
It's kind of cool. It's like did anybody watch the movie Clueless?
Mm-hmm.
And she has like the closet that moves and she can pick the different outfits. Kind of the same idea. All right. So do you guys have any questions for us?
Mm-hmm.
For those companies that you sign up with and then they'll send you like a sample of clothing or accessories and you try them on and decide and send back what you don't like,
Yeah.
would you recommend those or have you come across ones that are good and affordable? I've never tried it.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I have not personally done them yet.
I haven't done them yet either, but I've heard good things. Those are really good, actually. Which one was I on? I think it's like Jamboree or something. I don't know. I'll find the name for you. But it's basically you have to pay. It's a monthly subscription box. So whatever you wear it for a month, and then when you're done with it, you return it. But if you like it, you have to buy it. So and then you can keep it for a longer period of time. I think it's good. I think it's fun. You get to change your style. You don't have to pay too much for it, especially like name brands and stuff like that. That are really expensive and you get them at a discounted price.
I have friends that have done it and liked it. I like the ones better where you're renting than buying because, again, that kind of goes along with this sustainability idea. There was one on the Today Show last weekend when I was watching, and I think this is pricey to me, but you can pay $130 a month and get like 5 or 6 new pieces each month. But then you're sending them back, you're renting them, so, yeah.
I remember a long time ago, someone, like, whenever, like, when you were younger and Abercrombie was, like, the thing, I remember someone told me that all the stuff they didn't sell, they would burn, and I remember I thought that was so awful, but now, like, after you guys said that, it makes sense they burn the stuff they don't sell, because if there's such an issue like that going on. I didn't realize that till now. I was just like, it makes sense now that I think about it.
There's just no good because another whole topic is the chemicals that we wear every day that we don't even think about and the way that affects our body.
Yeah.
So burning them kind of scares me too because you're probably letting off some of those chemicals when you're burning them. I don't know if,
But do you think that's the right way to handle it? Or how do you, because I don't know if there's even like a right way to handle it because we have so many clothes, like what else are we going to do with them?
Yeah.
To me, the right way would just be to reduce the waste,
Yeah.
overconsumption, and
I
No.
think
in a perfect world, that would be the right way. I just don't see it happening.
I have another question too.
Yeah.
I remember I watched this video on like outlet centers, and is it true that the quality is a lot less than like the actual store?
Yep.
How do they like make their pieces? Like, do they make it in a completely different factory, or how do they create their pieces? Is that how it works? Or
You want me to talk about this?
Yeah,
or you
go
want
for it,
to?
yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So I worked for Coach for a couple of years, and I worked at the outlet. And they do create a separate line, as is true with most outlet stores, for their outlet company. It's actually sometimes even handled as a completely different company. In the case of Coach, the leather was the same quality, but they would maybe do different types of hardware that were a little less expensive. And in handbags, hardware, which is like the metal pieces, are the most expensive part. So you'll notice in your less expensive handbags,
I got mine from the outlet, so.
Okay, mine is from the outlet too. And when I worked there, I got all kinds of discounts and things. So, and in my mind, they're the same as anything else. But, less expensive handbags will have plastic hardware instead of the metal hardware. So that's an indicator of quality. Coach doesn't do that. They're metal either way. Some of the merchandise in outlet stores are also seconds from the full price stores. So there's a mixture of both. but the primary inventory is actually made separately and manufactured differently.
Coach has like very good quality, because I've always gotten my items from the outlet, but they just opened the American Eagle outlet like a few years ago,
Mhm.
and I remember I got some pants there, and there was like 2 pairs I got, and it was like a month with wearing them, I would get holes in them, and like from regular American Eagle, it didn't do that, but in the outlet, like you can just tell the clothes were just like so awful.
And the other secret is that some of the stores at the outlet mall aren't really outlet stores. They're
Yeah.
actually full price stores. So like at the
Confusing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the Tuscola Mall, I know for that Maurice's is actually a full price
And so is
store.
Rue. Rue is
It's
very
not
good,
an
too.
outlet.
Rue is-
So
Yeah.
they're not always necessarily an outlet store if they're at an outlet mall.
Yeah.
It's
How can you tell though, or can you tell?
usually
like,
it
from the
says
split?
outlet somewhere.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a good question.
Yeah. Well, I think Brittany and I have to teach class at
Oh.
noon. So thank you all very much. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email either of us.
Yeah.
So you can find our name by searching on the EIU website. Or if you'd like, I can give you our emails before you leave today. So thank you all.
Thank you.